Hi, it's Bruce. It's Saturday, December 15th, 2010. We're getting toward the close of the year, and yes, it's been a while since I've reviewed, so let's get to it. A lot's happened. Early November, Bill and I went to Chicago to visit some friends, spent 4 days there, just got back from a week in Sarasota, which was nothing but vacation, and over Thanksgiving weekend, I turned 65. Yes, I admit to it. Okay, well, let's get to what we did in Chicago, which was to visit friends, but we went to see Kinky Boots, the new musical, which is going to open on Broadway this spring, and it's great. We had a great time. It's got music by Cyndi Lauper. She wrote a really good score, a theater score, directed and choreographed by the sublime Jerry Mitchell, and booked by Harvey Fierstein. Kinky Boots stars some great people: Billy Porter, Stark Sands, and Annalee Ashford. I think all three could get Tony nominations. I'm hoping Stark Sands gets in there since he'd be up with Billy Porter. I think Billy Porter could win the acting Tony for musical, and I think Kinky Boots is going to be one of the two big contenders for Best Musical. I think it needs a little bit more book work. Harvey's a great book writer, so I think they're working on it, but it was in great shape when we saw it. So watch for Kinky Boots this spring. It's fun. It's about Stark Sands has had a shoemaking factory in his family for generations, and he is left with a shoe factory, and it's going out of business. He has to find a way to get this shoe factory back up and running and making money, and he meets Lola, the drag queen played by Billy Porter, and therefore they start making kinky boots. What happens? All right, now next, this is closing in a couple weeks. Christmas Story. It's based on the film Christmas Story, which was, I think, filmed in the 80s, but it takes place in the 40s. It's about a little boy who lives in a small Indiana town on Lake Michigan. And if this was set in the 50s, that little boy would be me. Ralphie, my father's name was Ralph, by the way. So Ralphie's the little boy who wants a BB gun for Christmas, and everybody keeps saying, but you shoot your eye out. And that's all he wants. Anyway, it's a delightful movie, and they made it into a... This is like my favorite Christmas musical ever. It's really great. So they shot the movie of Christmas Story in my hometown of Cleveland on Lake Erie. So that really makes me feel like Ralphie was part of me growing up. You know, he's bullied and wears those hats and scarves, and they bundle up and they get bullied, and all he wants is that BB gun. And I had a BB gun when I was a kid. You'd go in the backyard and have fun. So Christmas Story stars John Bolton, Erin Dilly as the parents. John Bolton is brilliant. I hope he's up there in the Best Acting nominations come Tony time. He's just wonderful. Johnny Ray plays Ralphie, and there's a little 9-year-old boy who is in the ensemble, but he has a solo tap dancing number named Luke Spring. Stops the show dead. It's great holiday fun. I highly, highly recommend it. As I said, I think it's like one of the best Christmas musicals I've ever seen. It has people in it. It's about family and people. All right, Chris Durang has a new play at the Mitzi Newhouse. It's a big hit. I'm not sure if they can extend it or move it. It's called Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike. And, of course, it's Chris Durang going off in a Chekhovian mood about this family whose parents were Chekhov fans, and they named their kids Vanya, Sonia, and Masha, much to their dismay. I was a little worried going in. Chris Durang, I love Chris Durang. Sometimes he's hysterical, sometimes he's uneven, and I think he was great in this. I think the play says a lot. I think it's hysterically funny. It's got great literary references and great performances. Christine Nielsen, she's about it. She's top. David Hyde Pierce is wonderful. Sigourney Weaver. And Billy Magnuson as Spike is kind of fun. It's directed by Nicholas Martin, and if you like Chris Durang, it's all, you know, it's one of those weird Chris Durang things. Oh, I have been to Chris Durang's house in Pennsylvania. If you see this play, the set is his house. Identical. The stairs going up where they hold the rope, that's their house. Secret. All right, next. Another Lincoln Center play, but now this is at the Belasco. Golden Boy. It's an anniversary production of Clifford Odets' Golden Boy, directed by Bartlett Sher. He did the previous Odets, Awakened Spring, which won the Tony and was great. I didn't know Golden Boy. I mean, I knew it was about a boxer who played the violin, and that's all I knew. Bartlett Sher did one. I don't know what he's got with Odets, but he really knows how to bring Odets with all. A lot of those lines would be corny if you read them today, but he finds that balance of doing the Odets today, where you don't like laugh at the line. Well, you chuckle at some of the expressions and stuff, but this play has a great cast, great set. Seth Numrick, who was the boy in War Horse, really shows off as the boxer. He's really great, and he's in fine shape. Tony Shalhoub and Yvonne Strakovsky, who is in Dexter this season. Dexter, the TV show about the serial killer. She's a Poison Ivy kind of person in Dexter, and completely different in Golden Boy. I really thought she was great. I think she's a great actress seeing those two different roles. I highly recommend Golden Boy for a revival of a play you don't see very often. Next, the Public Theater is playing Giant, the musical, based on the it's based on the book, but most people are more familiar with the Elizabeth Taylor, Rock Hudson, James Dean movie, which it's a voluminous book and it's a long movie, and Giant has problems with that because there's so much material. Michael John Latrisa did the score, Brian Darcy James, Kate Baldwin, Bobby Steggert, Michelle Paulk, and actually, someone who I didn't know, Katie Thompson, plays one of the girls, farmer ranch friend girls of Kate Baldwin when she moves in, and that was a performance that really stood out. I really loved her. It's interesting, the music is varied, it's very long, and there's no fun in it, really. So, you know, it's a classical piece. Michael John Latrisa, give it a try. But I don't think it's going to be moving, although other resident theaters may do it. All right, last, and what I thought might be least, but wasn't least, was the revival of Annie. Okay, we bought tickets a long time ago because Katie Finneran was cast as Miss Hannigan, and I thought, brilliant casting. So we went and got discount tickets for last night, Friday night. Figured maybe the children quotient would be a little less than in a matinee. And then it didn't get great reviews. So I've only seen Annie once, originally with Andrea McArdle, then the movie, then the TV version with Audra McDonald was Grace, and Victor Garber was Daddy Warbucks. I actually enjoyed this Annie. It's not great. It's solid. Annie's solid. The one casting thing, the reason I bought the ticket was Katie Finneran, and she wasn't right. She had some great comic moments, as she does because she's a great comic actress, but her voice is not up to par, even though those songs aren't great singing songs. And I don't know if she was directed. Anyway, The big surprise was we saw an understudy, Annie, Taylor Richardson, and she was wonderful. She was very good. In fact, someone else had seen her and said that they preferred her, I think, over the regular cast Annie, whose name I don't have here right now. But the other big surprise was Anthony Warlow as Daddy Warbucks. This became, to me, the Annie and Daddy Warbucks show. I mean, Anthony Warlow, who I just heard about because a friend of mine from Australia loves him and sent me some songs a few years ago. Hi Danny, I hope you're watching. Thanks for the introduction to Anthony Warlow. We really loved him. Great stage presence, very good Daddy Warbucks. I'd never been impressed with Daddy Warbucks before. And fine singing voice. All right, and that's it. We did see a little play last month at St. Luke's Theater called Zelda and the Oasis. I'll just say that we saw it by an author named P.H. Lynn, and it's about Zelda Fitzgerald, one evening in a bar with Zelda Fitzgerald, and it wasn't memorable. All right, so hopefully you can see most of this stuff still, and Christmas is coming up, so have a great time, and I probably won't get back to you till after Christmas. Bye.